So it's just really getting annoying out here trying to deal with all these distractions, isn't it, guys? Um, I'm staying at another hotel. I've been traveling a lot recently, and I go down in the hotel lobby. I don't know what it is about hotel lobbies where they always are playing CNN. Like that's all that ever plays. You'd think that they would take a piece out of the casino, right? Like, you think like casinos always they don't play political stuff at all and they just play like sports and loud music because they want to keep people happy and keep people coming back. And for some reason hotels like they must all be under contract because I go down there and I hear this government official talking about um, of course Iran and how awesome it is that we are bombing them, invading them, and it's just like, you flash back like 6 months ago and nobody wanted this at all. And it's just frustrating. It can be frustrating. And I think one of the biggest things that you can do is to really just like check out. Like one thing I've been doing recently is um, when I go to sleep at night, I'll put on Alan Watts. I'm sure a lot of you guys know who Alan Watts is, but he has some sleep. Well, there's videos that people have made, audios of Alan Watts, and it's just very refreshing to hear someone that doesn't talk at all about politics. He lived in a time when there wasn't even the internet and there wasn't all these distractions. So he talks a lot about just like things that you don't hear about in the mainstream at all anymore. Like it's kind of a rude awakening when you listen to a guy like Alan Watts for this reason because you know you you realize how much just clutter and absolute bullshit is talked about on media these days. People never used to be so hung up on politics before like 2016 and just everyone just talking about things that have nothing to do with them, right? They have no control over, no effect over, and they can't really have an effect on these things. It's like there's nothing we can do about going to war with other countries. I mean, we have to understand that our politicians don't care about us. They actively hate us, I think. But that's not the scope of this video. What I'm trying to talk about is going back to Alan Watts. It's like he talks a lot about like Zen Buddhism. And I appreciate that because it's really just like stepping back and realizing that we do live in a matrix. We live in a false reality. Um, and we all know that this is going to end at some point for all of us. So at some point, we really have to um, just back off and control what we can control. That's a big one of my dad's um, favorite sayings is control what you can control. But he also grew up in a different time. With as being a millennial, it's kind of an interesting time in history because I was growing up when the internet was first getting started. Like I learned to navigate the internet when I was like 12 and I was playing online gaming and I wouldn't really look at the news that much because I was a kid, you don't really care. But now the distractions are just ridiculous and it's making people less sociable, less amenable. So like I'm kind of meandering with this video, but what I mean by less social is like obviously people are less social than before. Everyone's got their headphones in or they're knee deep in their phone and not paying attention to anything around them. It's no self-awareness at all. But also, they just lack the social skills that that are important just to be able to navigate through this matrix. Because one thing I do like to do, I actually like to talk to people in person if it's about interesting topics. I don't really like small talk. I'm not really here to talk about the NFL or football or other sports that I don't play or teams that I don't care about that have nothing to do with me. That's just another distraction in my eyes. I like to talk about deeper things, especially health, as you guys can tell. Health and nutrition. And because I think if you can be health wise, if you can be independent of the system, which is the main crux of this video, is detaching from these systems. And one of the best ways to do that is to stay out of the medical system as much as you can. I've been very successful with that myself. I haven't been to the doctor in who knows how long. And I've had people that say, oh, why don't you go in and get checked out and all this stuff? And I'll probably get some tests run one of these days, but why? Why would I go there? This is what I care about. This is what I know about. I don't need them to tell me how to be healthy. So that's one way, is again, like just talking to people about health and wellness in the real world. And also, if you can be healthy, then you can have higher energy levels. You can sleep better and you can be more at peace. You won't be on all types of medications like most people are. I think right now, I know when I was a kid, um, or when I was in college, the statistic was that like 40% of people were on at least one medication. And I would bet that that's above 50% now. People are on all types of psychiatric meds too. Let me shut this phone off here. There we go. Getting spammed. So people, Jesus Christ. So let's talking about, that's another thing right there. You know, my phone goes off and I just put it on airplane mode while I make the video. So I'm not getting intruded upon. But going back to health, talking to people about health in public and giving them actual solutions and seeing these solutions take fruition in their life is one of the things that brings me great satisfaction. And again, if you're healthy, it trickles through every part of your life because you're going to be more mentally clear and more mentally clear-headed, which means you'll be able to make better decisions and also be more emotionally controlled. And that's where I'll probably end this video here. Kind of a rant, but the emotional control is the key. If you can tell people lose their shit pretty quickly, veering off into all types of in all types of different directions, either, especially men. Well, let's be honest, women have always been head cases, but men now, since they're becoming more effeminate, weaker, higher estrogen levels, lower testosterone levels, they're not able to deal with stress. So they become avoidant, conflict avoidant. So being conflict avoidant is is not like it's not a good trait. Like you should stay out of unneeded conflicts if you can. But if you just end up avoiding problems, you know, you'll end up worse off than before. And I know I'm talking about getting out of the system, but that doesn't mean being antisocial. It just means getting away from the distractions. You know what I mean? I don't have to talk about all the distractions going on right now. We know the economy's bad. We know the price of gas food is going up. Our money is worth less. The economy is tanking. Only people that are either already super wealthy and don't have to worry about it or have their head in the sand can't see that. The dollar is losing value. So it's stressing people out. Car repairs, everything's more expensive. And it's easy to be distracted. But if you can minimalize too and just cut out the stuff that doesn't really matter, which is most things these days. Um, One example would be like all these little computer games that people play on their phone now, right? Candy Crush and all this stuff. And I've played them before, but I make a conscious effort to get back to working out, focusing on my nutrition, focusing on my peace of mind and emotional stability, cutting out these distractions because it doesn't do anyone any good when you're distracted and scatterbrained and then your energy's low. Right, guys? So, just a short video today. Like, comment, subscribe if you agree with what I'm saying. I'd like to hear what you guys think in the comments. Talk to you later.